Hello all. So far in this video series we have seen how can we implement full load strategy, and for that we have pulled the records from HR database, which is again a OLTP transactional system. There were 7 to 8 different tables, and we pulled all the records from those individual tables and loaded those records into corresponding staging tables. Now these staging tables are in a different database, and this entire implementation we did using Python code. Now the next task in this video series is we have to load records from these staging tables into ODS table, operational data source. Now all these three different things like staging table, ODS table, and actual data warehouse table, those all three different tables are residing in the same data warehouse database. Only HR table is a different HR tables are into different database, HR database, which is the OLTP database. Remaining three systems or three tables are into a single database, which is called DW or data warehouse database. Now load between HR and staging tables or OLTP or DW staging tables we implemented using Python. The next task, like load between staging table and ODS table, we are going to do using stored procedures. Now, before we start writing stored procedures, let's first understand what the data is. Now, when we are going to data warehouse table structures, over there we'll be having different dimension or maybe one or two different fact tables. But when it comes to ODS, we'll have a single ODS table. Now we do not have to pull all the records from our staging tables. I'm sorry, not records. We do not have to pull all the columns from each and every staging tables. It's as per need basis, whatever columns we think are usable for the reporting, we'll pull only those particular columns or tables, and we'll have a single ODS table which will have many different columns, maybe around 50 columns. That's fine. I mean, whatever columns you need to keep in ODS table, it's up to us. It's up to the implementation or business need. So we'll see. So before creating a ODS table structure itself, let's first understand what our data is. So let me go back to our database. So as I said, like you have HR database as the OLTP system and data warehouse database. So let's first understand what our HR database is. So I'm clicking on this database diagram, new database diagram, and I'm selecting all the tables available. So based on foreign key relationship, it has created the diagram SSMS. And as you can see here, here the main table or driving table you can see is an employees table, which is having foreign key relationship with jobs, departments, and job history. Again, job department ID is a foreign key in sorry, location ID is again a foreign key in a locations table. Similarly, country ID is a foreign key is in a country. So there is a relationship. Some relationship is there between all these tables. Let's understand. Let's start writing a query first. Let's see what our data is. So as I said earlier, the main table or the driving table is obviously the employees table. It's all employees related data, HR data, and like that particular employee is in which department, then if that department is in which particular location, which country, region, likewise. Similarly, we are also maintaining job history of that particular employee, like that. So as you can see in the jobs table, you are having maximum salary. So that particular job profile, what is the maximum salary and minimum salary a particular employee can have. Similarly, they are also maintaining job history. We'll see that job history table afterwards, but let's first start seeing the records in the employees table. So let me maximize this a bit. Yeah, it's visible now. And what I will do, let's start writing select star from employees EMP. So there are 107 records. Okay. First name, last name, email ID, likewise. So what I will do, let's take the count star first. So there are 107 records, and as you can see here, the employees table, the it has department ID, which is a foreign key in a department, or other way. So department ID is a primary key in departments table, which is a foreign key in a employees table. So let's join that DEP on DEP dot department ID equal to employee dot department ID. So as I said, department ID is a primary key in departments table and foreign key in a employee table. Okay, so I have used left join. So if you use normal or inner join, so earlier the employee table used to have 107 records. Okay, the moment we join inner join departments table, one records gets skipped out. Now why is that? So let's see. So as you can see, department, see there is one employee which doesn't have any department. Okay, and that's why when we are joining inner joining with him departments table, we are losing this record. Okay, so we don't want to do that. We need all the records when we are loading them into ODS table. So let's go ahead with left join. We'll use left join only wherever possible. So now let's again go back and I will take the count. So it's 107 records still. Again left join, and department table is related with locations. So location ID is a primary key in locations table and it's a foreign key in departments table on LOC dot location ID equal to department dot location ID. Similarly, left join. So there is a table called countries. So country ID is a primary key, COUNTRY on country dot country ID to LOC dot country ID. Left join regions REG on region dot region ID equal to country dot region ID. Okay, if I run this, I'm still getting 107 records. Now the last two tables which are left out is jobs and job history. So let's add jobs first. Jobs dot job ID equal to employee dot job ID. It is still 107 records. Okay. Now, so there is a difference between employees table and remaining these tables or employees and job history table. Now, if I take the count of employees table, it's 107 records. Okay, that's why I'm saying that it's a transaction or master table. Okay, so I'm sorry, not master table, the driving table. Okay, whereas if you look at the departments table or any other table for that matter, what I will do, so let's take locations, countries, regions, and let's say jobs. Now, if I run, it has very limited records. Now, if you look at the data as well, right, there are handful of departments. These departments don't change that frequently, whereas employees come and go. Employees can move from one department to another department. A new employee can come, or maybe existing employee may get retired, or he may change the job, he will leave the company. So that's why the employees table is a transactional data. Okay, it changed over a period of time. Whereas in remaining table, this data is a constant. That's why we call these tables or data in this table as a master records or these tables as a master tables. Okay, so however, let's look at the job history. So if I run this, select start from job history. Now, if you look at the data, it's the employees' data. Now, these records or records in these tables can get changed over a period of time. If employee leaves or employee moves from one department to another department, the records in this table will get added. It will change. It's not like other tables. This job history table is something like the employees table. So we can say there are two tables in our entire database which are transactional tables. One is employees and second is job history. Or we can say another thing, another way, there are two transactional tables or two driving tables. One is a employees for sure and another is a job history. Now, while loading records into ODS table, so we have records. Currently, we are seeing the data in the staging tables. While loading records into from staging table into ODS table, we have to take employees table or we'll go with the employees table first. Okay, because it's a transactional system. Let's assume let's look at the data of employees table. So over here, let's take the example of Nina Kochar here. Okay, so she's there in this employees table right now. Let's assume uh, let's filter out her data where employee ID equal to 101 and I will filter and same filter I will use here 101. Now as you can see here, right now Nina Kochar is uh, additional VP. Okay, this is particular salary she is having. Her manager is the manager ID is 100, and she is working in department 90. Okay, but she also has two records in job history table. Okay, so as you can see here, so she was earlier. So let's sort it by start date. So very first she started as a accountant. Later on she promoted to manager, and right now she is working as a VP. So what's basically happening is when a employee moves from one department to another department, or if he leaves or terminated in whatever situation, the old records are getting stored into this job history table. Okay, and latest records are available in employees table, and we can join these two transactional tables with this remaining master table. Okay, the way I have done here. So instead of employees I can even write job history here. So let's, if I just remove the query should still work. Okay, only thing is it has 10 records. So if I run here, I am having 10 records. Okay, now what we'll do is, whenever, let's assume we are pulling all the, since we are implementing full load, every day we'll be having all the records from our employees table, okay, stored into our staging tables. Now from staging table into ODS table, since we have all the records into staging table, we'll always use employees table. So if an employee leaves, let's say, let's take an example. Let's say if Nina Kochar, who is currently additional VP, if she moves to different hierarchy or different department, these particular records will get stored into job history table. But this record we are already storing into ODS table. Okay, so we don't have to worry about records which got moved into job history table, because this record will be always storing into ODS table. I will tell you how we are storing the records into ODS table in future, maybe in the next video. But as of now, just assume we'll be already storing this record into ODS table. So even if this records moves into job history, we don't have to worry about that, because that particular record we are already taking care into ODS table. So for our purpose, we'll always go with the employees table. Now, what about the old records which are available in job history? So what we'll do for that is, we'll first, while inserting a record into ODS table, we'll first use, for very initial load, for very first load, we use job history table. We'll insert all these 10 records joining with remaining tables into ODS table. Once that is done, then remaining all future loads between staging table and ODS table, that will do using employees table. Okay, so before jump into that, let's first finalize what all columns which are needed into employee from the employees table or remaining master tables. Okay, so I will go back to this query. So let's see employee, what all columns are needed from employees table. So we definitely need employee ID, first name, last name, email, phone number, hire date. So let's add that employee ID, emp dot first name, emp dot last name, emp dot email, emp dot phone number, emp dot hire date, emp dot job ID. Let's add job ID as well. That's okay. Emp dot commission we don't need. Manager ID. Let's add manager ID as well. And department name. Emp dot department name. Okay, department ID. Now let's go with other tables. So after employee, there is a immediate table is department. So from that, we definitely need department name, because with department ID we cannot do anything. So I will add department dot department name. After that, we have location ID. So let's add location ID as well. So department dot location ID. And so location ID will not suffice. I mean, it will not give more information. So other than that, there are other things like street address, postal address. Let's not bring in street address and postal address. We'll just add city and state. So it is in location table, location dot city, location dot state, location dot country ID is there. We don't need country ID either. So country name is in countries table. So what I will do, country dot country name, and let's add region name as well. So that is under region table dot region name. All right. So if I run this query, I should still see 107 records. Yes, I can. Now I will copy the same query. As I said earlier, before loading records from employees table, we'll first load records from job history table. Okay, so let's, what I will do, I will use this, and what I will do, I will use job history. Our query may fail. Let's find out if it fails. So as you can see here, it's definitely failing because it's not able to identify first name, last name, email, phone number. Now we can still get these records. How we'll get that? Let's join this with, I will keep this employees table as is. I will use left join, and I will use the driving table as job history table. Job history. Uh, Left join this on job history dot employee ID equal to employee dot employee ID. All right, so our driving table is job history now. And now if I run, I should see 10 records. Yeah, exact 10 records. Okay, and these are the old records. So as I said, we'll use this query first to do our initial load or very first load of ODS. Once that is done, then we'll use for remaining all loads going forward, we'll use this employees table. All right. So thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next video.